Look, I know I'm just kind of beating on a dead bush by saying this, but the Browns need to make a change, and they need to do it fast. And I'm not even talking about winning. I think that is done. That's out the window. The Browns are going to be a 4-win team if they're lucky, but I almost feel bad for Joe Flacco watching all this unfold. The man is 40 years old, turning 41 in January, I believe. He really was not a mobile quarterback in his prime to begin with, but now he can't even move around in the pocket at all. And the Ravens did not even have to blitz. They just sat 7 or even 8 guys back in the secondary, so nothing was ever open, knowing that Flacco was never going to take off. And the pass rush still got to him on multiple occasions throughout the game. It was a fun ride in 2022 with the Flacco Fever. I'll never forget it, but it's time to be realistic. It feels borderline dangerous for him to be out there. It's like a cat and mouse thing, and I do think a change at quarterback needs to be made, and is coming very soon. And I will get into detail on why I think that, but first off, before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so the reason why I think a quarterback change is needed within the next few weeks, one is that Joe Flacco literally can't do anything. The Browns offense in the Ravens game was reminiscent of the 2016 through 18 Browns. I know that's sad to say, but it really was. I know the Ravens do have an elite defense, and Flacco was solid in week 1 against the Bengals, but knowing the Browns, I only expect things to get even worse from here. And since the Browns most definitely are going to have a losing season, we really need to see the rookies out there to give them a fair shot to prove themselves, because we all know what's coming. The Browns literally could have the first and second pick of next year's draft because the Jaguars are horrible as well, with a class loaded in potential franchise QBs. I mean, you got Arch Manning, Drew Aller, there are like 4 or 5 names. But if the Browns did, say, give Dillon Gabriel a fair chance, and he really showed real promise, and he ends up looking like a guy that can be an NFL quarterback, then maybe the Browns can go into the draft and take positional guys that are much needed. They could take a Caleb Downs and those type of players. Obviously, quarterback is the #1 issue, and it's the thing that has haunted this franchise, but I still think a guy like Caleb Downs could be huge for what this team needs, and in my eyes, it's going to be tough for the Browns to not take Arch Manning or Aller, and I will not take any Drew Aller slander. The dude is built to be an NFL quarterback. Now, would the Browns ruin him? I'm 99% sure that they would. If I was him or Arch Manning, I would not want to go anywhere near Cleveland, even though I know that Drew is a Browns fan, but you get my point. Dillon and Shedeur need their chances this year so the Browns front office can make an informed and educated decision on what to do next. And here's the thing, I don't know if it's a curse, I don't know if it's malpractice up top with the Haslams, I don't know if it's the awful front office, but I'm a big believer that some combination of players and coaches should eventually work in the NFL. I mean, these are professional football players out there, if I'm correct. But for the Browns, it's been a non-stop 2-decade cycle of awful football outside of like 1 or 2 seasons with Baker Mayfield. And even then, all they did was win 1 single wildcard game. It wasn't anything that crazy. That's like what most franchises expect to do at least once every 3 years. And we've seen teams like the Lions and Commanders turn it around very quickly. And I know every fan talks about their team like this. I know Bears fans probably feel the same way. But this Browns situation is just very different. There's nothing like it. There is definitely something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Because how every season does a new cycle of players get brought in around the core, new quarterbacks, new coaches, new members of the front office, it's absolutely insane to me how nothing ever changes, and that's what feels like a curse. It doesn't matter if you put Dillon Gabriel out there, the team is still going to be awful. I'm a firm believer the Browns could hire prime Belichick and Brady and would still be a 6-win team. I honestly am just lost for words with this organization, but somehow they get away with it and continue to sell out every game, which is also another reason why they continue to be awful. The Haslams have no incentive to change. Why would they? They are making so much money just putting out a sloppy team year after year after year, knowing the season ticket holders will continue to build his wealth. It's honestly our own fault for continuing to support this BS. But anyways, that's my weekly Browns rant. Let me get back on track to giving Dillon Gabriel a chance. I know the Ravens backups were in for his drive, but he did lead the Browns to scoring a touchdown. I think he could be a competent QB. He's not going to turn things around, but there's absolutely no way he will be worse than Flacco. He's young and he's mobile. He can hit his targets. I actually like the way he puts drives together. He takes checkdowns. He really focuses on advancing the football forward. As for Shedeur Sanders, I know people are super anxious to get him out there. I can't say I'm not. But the man needs time. And this might be a hot take, but I think he needs a new environment. I don't think anyone can thrive in the environment the Browns have created. They set people up for failure over and over again. And the Browns are having some offensive line struggles. We know Shedeur still has the struggle of running super far back out of the pocket when being chased. I think he needs more time to mature. I definitely think he has the potential to be great, but he has a long way to go, and there's no need to rush him out there and ruin his career when you don't have to. Alright, now moving on, I want to talk about something positive because there is a lot of negatives, and I know I've been a negative person through this video, so let me switch topics from the quarterback position. Let's talk about the return of Quinshon Judkins because it was great to see him out there on the field. His conditioning looked good. He actually played a lot more than I expected him to for it being his return, but the good thing is, yeah, he was not able to attend camp, but it's not like he was injured. He was still able to train on his own and stay in shape. And running back is one of those positions where once you learn the plays and the schemes, you can slide in as long as you can produce, and Judkins makes me feel pretty confident in the future of this running back room post Nick Chubb moving forward. In that Ravens game, really the big highlight was his stiff arm. He finished the game with 61 yards on 10 carries for 6.1 yards per carry. I think he's going to pretty much instantly take over Jerome Ford for the RB1 spot. He's going to be the starter. And Ford is a player that I have mixed feelings about. And then Dillon Sampson, I'm actually super excited about his versatility because he's been catching passes out of the backfield. And between Ford, Judkins, and Sampson, the Browns have at least around league average in the backfield. But again, when you can't pass, it's tough to balance the offense and it makes life even harder. And this coming week against the Packers, Judkins is going to have to find a way to run the ball because it's tough for me to believe the Browns are going to show us any sort of offense, any sort of consistency. Micah Parsons is going to be licking his chops at Joe Flacco being under center. This is a game that could get real ugly fast, and I hate to admit it. We actually could get to see Dillon Gabriel at some point because in the fourth quarter it's probably going to be a blowout. Now, I could be completely wrong. The Browns could decide to be funny and play well. I remember going to the 49ers game with PJ Walker starting. I thought they were going to get blown out, and they randomly won because Jake Moody missed that field goal. But I would pretty confidently bet a lot of my money away on the Packers to win this game. They have a ton of momentum. They fully believe they are Super Bowl contenders. I highly doubt they will mess around at all. But if the Browns do want a chance, they have to eat clock and put together long drives like they did against the Bengals. They need drives with a 5-yard short pass, then a 3-yard run, then a QB sneak, then a 3-yard pass, then a 4-yard run, that sort of thing. To me, that's the only way the Browns have any kind of chance in this game, or if the defense can create big turnovers. I am excited to see the Garrett versus Parsons matchup. We did not really get to see it much when he was in Dallas, but yeah, shrink the game, don't drop passes, which I'm pretty sure is impossible with this group. But if you do that, you will give yourself a chance. That's all I got for this video though. Let me know how you guys are feeling about things and how this season has started in the comments below. If you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly means the world. And let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.